All right, here we go. So going over your do now. So on the first one, if you look up here, what did I do? I found my GCF. Do we see that? Okay. Found my GCF. And then I was like, oh no, I'm not done. Let me think. Is there anything that multiplies to give me 14, but adds to give me 9? And the answer is -9. And the answer is, why, yes, there are. That would be -2 and -7 make -9. And -2 times -7 makes +14. Okay. So this right here, this is me factored by GCF, but this is it fully factored.
Wait, so
Yes.
if we don't do this, when we're doing the trinomial part on quotient, we don't do anything with the number of hundreds.
No, your GCF is done.
Wait, which
Okay.
page are we on? Come on. Remember you all-
Yes. Okay, so let's look at this one. So, shh, guys, let's focus on the talking, the eating, the everything else. Pay attention. You literally distract your brain when you're doing multiple things. Y'all are not the strongest multitaskers. So let's just be honest. Full on attention. Bless you, tissues on my head. All right, here we go. Here, the GCF here is 3. Agreed? Okay, so I took out the GCF. And I'm like, oh, I'm not done yet. I have x squared plus 2x minus 3. Before I can say I'm done, let me check. Is there anything that multiplies to give me -3, but adds to give me 2? And the answer is yes. And it would be a -1 and a +3, which is what we have, right? So now, am I fully factored?
Wait. Let me write this down.
Yes, I'm fully factored. I have the GCF and I have my binomial factors. Do we see that? Okay. So do you see why part 3 is a combination of part 1 and part 2? Yes.
So do we not do anything with that first x either? Like,
I don't know how to answer that. What do you mean?
Like the x squared,
No, because if I was to redistribute and FOIL all this,
yeah.
it all comes back together. Yeah. Okay. It all comes back together. That's why we said, when you're like, Miss, check me. I'm like, did you distribute? And you're like, oh, I'll check myself. Okay. All right.
Yeah, but I'm just like, this is that I did it.
All right, here we go. Example 3. This one, notice that my GCF wasn't just a number, but a negative and a variable. Each term had an x in common. Do we see that? So my GCF was -x.
How would that be? They're not all negative, so how would they all be in common?
So yesterday we talked about if your leading is negative, then your GCF is going to be
So
negative.
first one is negative,
Yeah.
all the rest are negative.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
I remember children.
Okay. So now I divide out -x, and when I divide out -x, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a quadratic trinomial. I wonder what multiplies to give me -10, but adds to give me -3. I got it. -5 and +2, which is why it's x -5 and x plus 2. If I did not feel confident, I would need to distribute and FOIL to check myself. Does that make sense? Okay, that's how those two come together.
Okay, I understand.
Okay, at Algebra 2, you're more likely to see part 3 versus the Algebra 1 problems of part 1 and part 2. Does that make sense? Okay, yes? All right.
I want to know if I can do it.